They click on create, employer can register themselves for the employer portal. Now you wouldn't need any other videos. Now you'll type on Google called OINP employer portal. You'll go to the first link, and at the bottom you'll scroll down and you'll click on the employer portal user guide. You click on log into the employer portal and you click on I'm not a robot, and then you say continue, and this error might pop up. You click on continue again. Once you're here, you will click on create an account. Once this account is created, you will enter, the employer will enter their email address and their password here, and click on I agree to the terms and service and create an account. Once they click on create an account, they will receive a code which they will enter, and then they will be moved back to the main screen. Once the employer logs in, they will see a screen like this. On the screen, they will click on new employer. Once they click on new employer, they will see a screen that will say this. So are you an authorized signing officer? You will say yes, I have understood the conditions, and you will click on continue. Once you click on continue, you will have to enter your information, like you will have to register your business. You will have to enter your CRA number. This CRA number, as is mentioned, is a 9-digit number unique to your business. You will enter the legal name, the employer address, let's say what city are they in, their address options, their phone number, their website, and their queries. The next would be the employer authorized signing officer information. If the employer has an authorized signing officer, which will obviously be, or which can be, the person who is creating the account, they will enter that information here, and then they will go ahead and click a declaration. In the declaration, the authorized signing officer will enter their job title and their phone number. So let's say I've entered a random number here. I enter the name of the business. I enter the address on this screen. Once I enter this, I can click next. Once I click next, they will ask me the business phone number. Let's say you enter a business phone number here. It will bring me to this screen. On this screen, you will enter the information, that is the last name. That is, I will, let's say, put in my details. I enter these details on the portal, and then I click next. Once I click next, I will sign a declaration. I will put in my full name. Once I put in all my details, I will click on confirm. Once I click on confirm, you will gradually see a screen pop up that will take some time to register you initially. Now this is what you will see. Once an employer registers, this is what they will see. This is the screen that you will have. Now when you go to the job offer and application dashboard, this is what the employers will have to do, the most important step. We will share these details in the next video to allow the videos to be more informative. So we'll be making a complete video on how the most important step starts here. Now any employer who's registered for the portal will click on create a new job offer. And let's say you are clicking a file to create an international student stream. You'll click on international student stream. You'll put the employer's details here. The next step will be selecting the employer stream. So let's say you are selecting your employee for the international student stream. You'll click on international student stream. You'll enter the employee's details. Let's say Ajay Singh. I've entered a random email ID and the title is registered nurse. I will click on create draft. Once I click on create draft, the details will be saved on the system. Now you will see something like this. You will see a file number and the details. Now how you will proceed is, you will click here, you will click on job ID, you will click on edit. Once you click on edit, the next steps will start. Now we proceed to the next step. We will go to next, which we had already mentioned. On the next step, we will enter, let's say we will enter the knock code. The next step will be entering information. So let's say you choose the knock code. I chose it for an RN. You enter the hourly wage, whatever the wage is. You say the position is permanent and full-time. You mention it same as head office location. So let's say it's 5151 Tompkin Road, and is it in the GTA, or you choose whatever your situation. If you're inside the GTA, you choose yes. If you're outside the GTA, you will choose no here. Then you go to the next screen. On the next screen, you will see your details. So you will click, let's say selected contact is myself. Then you will say, is anyone assisting you with the application? So let's say you were having difficulties, be it any healthcare institution or anyone. If you hire us for doing this, we can assist you. If you say, let's say someone is assisting you, it will ask yes, and then you will add a representative that was on the initial screen. If you say no one's assisting you, you go to the next screen and you click on next here. On the final screen, it'll say the name and your first name and your title. You will click on check for errors. Once you click on check for errors, you'll have a screen that pops up and you'll say submit a job offer. Now it will take you back to the same screen. Now any job offer that you've already submitted, it cannot be edited. It can only be withdrawn. So if there's an error that you make, you can only withdraw it. Now everything goes to your employee. We will go into that in the next step. The most